Secretary-General of the National Union of Metalworkers of South Africa, Irvin Jim, says they're still engaging with tyre manufacturer Goodyear on their impending closure. Speaking at the NAACAM Show underway in Gqeberha, Jim confirmed that discussions with Goodyear will form part of efforts to address challenges facing workers and the broader automotive manufacturing sector. This at the backdrop of the newly released quarterly unemployment statistics showing that the Nelson Mandela Bay has lost 42,000 jobs in the past 3 months. Kim Daniels has the story.
The two-day NAACAM Show is here in Gqeberha, and it is a platform where OEMs, manufacturers, suppliers and government can come together and celebrate the automotive sector, where they can share ideas and new technologies as well. But this year the climate is a little bit different with the introduction of tariffs and with the instability happening in South Africa at the moment, especially here in the Eastern Cape, where we are facing massive job losses, manufacturers that are closing down, the impending closure of VW, impending closure of Goodyear, and then also Section 189 at Mercedes-Benz. As we know, the automotive sector is the backbone of the Eastern Cape, that alongside the agriculture sector. But I'm joined now with the Secretary-General of NUMSA, Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it. Just tell us, what is the feeling on the ground right now?
Well, I think the NAACAM Show takes place against the backdrop of the global geopolitical chemistry, which has imposed a strain in the manufacturing sector. And of course, with Trump and the ranging tariffs and protectionism, the countries that are doing well are countries who, for some years now, champion manufacturing industrialization, took measures that ensure that they beneficiate their minerals, they drive manufacturing and industrialization. And countries that have not handled this well, countries who collapse under Washington consensus, neoliberal policies that were militating against manufacturing like South Africa, we basically have to rise very quick. We are rising on the back foot of the kind of a scourge of deindustrialization we have experienced as a result of Washington consensus. And therefore, in the show, we will be having discussions, debate that are focusing on how are we going to turn around very quick the picture that is bleeding. How do we respond, for instance, to Trump? Our attitude as a union is that we cannot hand over ourselves to Trump. I think the good example is EU that is investing around 600 billion to America, and they will be spending about 700 billion in buying American energy for a period of 3 years, and yet Trump will be basically importing to EU for free with absolutely no tariff that he will be faced with. And therefore our attitude is that our government must not start from a position of weakness. Trade must be reciprocal. It must be that we must be able to quantify what US benefit out of our own goods that we are sending to the United States, and what are they benefiting from us. And the best way of doing that is to take stock of the value of our trade, is to take stock of the Africa free trade continent, so that as the continent we basically engage with the United States of America, not begging. In relation to banning issues, I must give a little bit of clarity. I've heard people saying things. From where we're sitting as a union, Mercedes-Benz is not closing. It continues to operate. It had a layoff for a period of a month. So we don't think there's a challenge there. They have got challenges that we should be able to overcome. And our view, though, to government is that whenever there are these layoffs for a month, it's critical that the training layoff scheme in the form of UIF must come quick, because Mercedes-Benz, it will be good to take care of its members, but workers who are working in the component supplier value chain, who supply components to Mercedes-Benz, become victims. And VW is also not closing, it's still operating. I had somebody making a mistake. And the plant where we are facing a crisis is Goodyear. Goodyear have decided to close. We are boxing, we'll be meeting with them tomorrow. And I must tell you that we're facing with an arrogant employer who do not respect the workers who served that company for years. He's giving them a lousy 50,000 rand as a lump sum that you want to part and separate with them. We are operating that. We are fighting that. We are opposing that. We're putting on the table concrete alternatives. But clearly we seem to be dealing with an employer in Goodyear who's just implementing a decision that has been taken by a multinational company globally that you must close that market. They want to close the plant here and simply dump. We are refusing that this plant must close. We have engaged government. There's an agreement with us and government and IDC. We've made an offer to them that government want to buy that plant. Together with government, we want to be given time to engage other strategic partner that can come in and take over that plant, because Goodyear told us in no uncertain terms that they are going to close the plant. They want to close the plant, but they want to keep their distribution networks, which means there's still a market in South Africa. Why would you do that and destroy jobs of Goodyear workers? And you also don't want to give them a separate break where you pay decent packages for workers. And that's why I'm saying we will face them tomorrow. If they are not willing to cooperate again, we'll be left with no choice to confront them in court. We are also seriously considering to apply for a business rescue, because we believe that the people who are running the plant has got absolutely no interest of the local people, and therefore the Companies Act empowers us as a union to run to court. We think that that's one opportunity that is available to us, whilst we're busy exploring possibilities of finding an alternative strategic partner, whilst we're fighting them to say they must improve the package on the table.
Mr. Jim, just looking at the quarterly survey that was released yesterday, or the day before rather, tens of thousands of jobs have been lost recently in the Eastern Cape. Is this the same fighting attitude that we have to the smaller OEMs, to the suppliers that are also losing their workers during this turbulent time?
Well, there are a couple of things that government must do. I always say that great problems must deliver great solutions. We are facing a crisis globally, but South Africa has been deindustrializing, and it's not like, for instance, ITEC has not responded, for instance, if you take the tyre industry, by putting up tariffs. But despite tariffs having been put up, we still got leakages. Tyres are coming through Cambodia, India. They are being dumped into the local market. We have agreed with the Minister of Trade and Industry who addressed here that government must tighten, must increase tariff, must take drastic measures to make sure that we do not allow dumping of production to destroy the local manufacturing, and that it is important for government to basically to have a vibrant program to drive manufacturing and industrialization. You can't have a government in the province like the Eastern Cape that is driving austerity measures. We need government that is driving an expansionary budget that is focusing on driving, building infrastructure. That's the only way you are going to be able to stimulate economic growth and create more jobs that will sustain existing jobs that are continuing to shrink in the economy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was just the Secretary General of NUMSA, just explaining passionately how they are busy fighting for the jobs, for the workers of the Eastern Cape and the manufacturing sector, which we do know is going through a very turbulent time at the moment. But for now, from us in Gqeberha, it's back to you guys in the studio.